You know, I've always wondered how much the power section of an amp actually affects the tone. And, you know, everybody says, bring your master knob down to make sure everything's nice and tight and, you know, gent. And I thought that was going to be the same case with the Omega Granophyre. And I talked about it in my last video, how we're going to test it out today. But something else came up. Mike Smith, the guy that helped to design the Omega Granophyre in the first place and was the CEO of Omega Ampworks for quite a while, he left a comment on last week's YouTube video that showed off the gain knob and how it sounds at the different levels on the amp. And I'll link that video up above and down in the description below as usual if you'd like to go watch that one. But essentially he said that they designed the master knob on here to not actually distort the power inverter. And that's pretty cool because that means that you can crank this very, very loud without adding a ton of saturation to the signal itself. But what he did say is that the level was designed to actually help to hit that power inverter more. So if we actually bring the master down and crank the level knob, we should get that similar kind of effect. So what we've got today for a setup to test this out is we've got the same guitar as last time, my GOC guitars Illumina with the Aurora Tone Earth Crusher rail pickups in it. I do have an overdrive up here, it's the opaque drive, which I use all the time, but we probably won't turn it on today. What we're gonna need to pay attention to though is the Two Notes Captor 8 that I've got up here, because I will be having to dial that back and forward just because of how loud this is going to get. I don't want to be clipping the signal and fooling your ears. So I'm going to do my best to level match as we're going, so that way you're hearing everything the same volume, but you'll hear the effects of what's going on here. So let me know down in the comments below if you hear a difference and what sounds better to you. With the preamp level down at lower volumes or up at higher volumes, I'm going to mess with the master knob as well. So we'll kind of test it at like 9 o'clock, noon, and then 3 o'clock. I won't go all the way because this is only able to handle 100 watts. And if I recall, this might be a 120 watt head, so I'm not gonna stress it that much. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. Here's the tone that I've got dialed in from last time. Immensely tight, even at these lower volumes. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring the master down to about 9 o'clock. And we're going to bring the level down as well, and we'll see how we're sitting. Okay, so with the level and the master at this, we have very little volume. I'm sure you're hearing that. So I'm gonna pull that back down. I'm gonna crank the master volume so we can really hear what the pre-level is doing right now. So I'm gonna push this. All right, let's go ahead and bring the gain down a little bit as well. That's tight. All right, so now just for reference to keep going further, the gain knob is just a little bit over 9 o'clock, and we're gonna keep it there just for the duration of this test. So the master volume is about good where it's at, so let's go ahead and crank up the pre-level to right in between. Let's do like 10 o'clock, almost 11. And I clip the signals. All right, so now let's hear what that sounds like. All right, I don't have headphones on right now, so y'all are probably hearing differences that I might not hear because my speakers are actually really far away from me. I should have plugged in headphones and everything since I'm using impulse responses anyways, but let me know if you hear a difference so far, because we have the level again between 9 and noon, and then the master volume is still just over 9 o'clock. And so now let's go ahead and crank the level to halfway. Okay, it's starting to sound a little bit more saturated to my ears. Again, my speakers could be playing tricks on me, but it definitely sounds a little bit more saturated, a little bit more round and less aggressive, I want to say. So let's go ahead and keep going. So we'll do the level up between, let's say noon and 3, so it's right in between there. And I'll probably have to lower the 2 notes again. Yeah, we're clipping. All right, so let's see how this sounds now. Can't play with the dam today. Definitely hearing the more rounder sound to it at this point. I really hope my speakers aren't fooling my ears and I just sound like an idiot. But I'm hearing a difference at this point, and we have it cranked up pretty far. Let's go even further. So let's go ahead and bring the 2 Notes Captor down again, and we'll bring up the level to 3 o'clock. And the fan on the 2 Notes Captor is turning on now, so now I know we are pushing the power inverters quite a bit. Cool. Sounding still good to my ears. Again, I'm gonna have to listen to this in post. So we're gonna go one step further. We're gonna just crank the level a little bit further because again, I don't wanna burn out the 2 Notes Captor, and I don't know if that's possible since the master's not cranked too, but I do hear it running overtime right now. And we're gonna go all the way. So here's to hoping I don't have some sort of mechanical failure right now. Cool. Sounds sick, honestly. All right, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna reverse things. I'm going to bring the level back down and we're gonna start cranking the master volume instead. So let's go ahead and pull the level crunk. Sorry, had to. And let's go ahead and, it should be pretty quiet now. Yeah, so we're gonna have to bring this up. Okay, so the master volume is still at around 9 o'clock. The level is at 9 o'clock as well, and this is what we sound like. So now I'm gonna have to adjust this down and we will crank up the master volume to noon. Cool. And let's go ahead and bring this down again, and we'll bring up the master to 3 o'clock. So in the room, this would be unbearably loud if I had it actually plugged into the cab that it's sitting on right now. This would literally be just like ear-splittingly loud. Funny enough, just like he said, with it up this high, the Two Notes Captor fan is not even turning on, so it's not transferring a ton of power into it right now, which is pretty cool. This is information I had no clue. I'm really glad that he commented on this, because obviously I had no damn clue how this amp works. I just know that I love how it sounds, so... Man, I should have warmed up before playing today. I know that it all sounds kind of cruddy as far as my playing goes, but we'll deal with it. Everything's still very audible at this high of volume. Like, in real world scenarios, I would probably never crank this amp that loud, especially through a real cab. You know, never would I use it that loud. So it still sounds great. I think I want to try something though. I want to try, you know, just level matching both of them. So let's go master at halfway and level at halfway, and I'll probably need to turn things down. Yeah, we need to turn things down a little bit. Yeah, let's go a little bit further. Let's pull down the two notes a little bit more. Let's go to 3 o'clock on the master and on the level. That's loud now. Okay, so now we're overloading things now. Let's bring that level back down. Definitely feels like I'm distorting a bit more now, and I like it. It feels good. I'm very close to clipping the signal, it looks like. Now, mind you, through this entire test, the gain has been just above 9 o'clock, so it's been very low gain. This is a high gain amp, so it's going to sound great regardless and sound like it's got some balls to it. But this sounds honestly fun. I love saturation. I love how this sounds. I know I already know what people are gonna think, that's too much gain, but until you play through it, man, it's just satisfying. Everybody has this thing where they've read on the internet, they've read on the Sneap forums, they've gotten this advice from all of these producers over the years that you don't need as much gain as you think, and dial it to where it's perfect and then dial it back a hair just so that it's the right amount. There's no right amount of gain, all right? There's no damn right amount of gain. It's what you like and what sounds good to you. I get comments from people, oh, an engineer would want you to do, I'm like, I don't care. I'm my own engineer. Like, I'm the one engineering this right now. I want gain and I want it to sound good. And that's why if you stay tuned for next week's episode, I'm gonna put another high gain monster amp up here on the rack, and it's not the Omega Granophyre. And I'm gonna push the gain on it, and it's gonna sound sick. So stay tuned for next week's video. It's gonna be a banger because it's a really awesome new amp, and I can't wait to show it all to you. But until then, let me know what setting along the way, if you stayed here this far, let me know what setting along the way sounded best to you, because I'm gonna go listen to it now in post while I'm editing, and hopefully I'll put up on screen which one I decided was my favorite. If not, then oh well, you'll find out at some point, right? But yeah, until next time, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, peace and love, you know the whole thing, and I'll talk to you in the next one.